Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind New York Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind New York Basketball. And what's good, everybody? Happy weekend. Hope all's going well. I decided to do something a little bit different here tonight. I've never covered a WNBA stream ever before, so the big hype here, Caitlin Clark in her first season in the WNBA for the Indiana Fever, so I wanted to be able to do a game and see how many people is able to come in tonight and see if this would be a successful stream, if we're able to get a lot of people on board for tonight's matchup. We got here Indiana Fever led by Caitlin Clark this season, as she has taken over women's basketball by storm. What she did in college basketball, the top scorer in all of collegiate basketball, and then drafted at number 1 in the draft last month to the Indiana Fever. Struggling season for them, just a 2-8 record, but still a long way left to go this season. New York Liberty right now is in second place in the WNBA. They got a record of 6-2 this season for the New York Liberty, and both of these teams already met up against each other twice this season, where New York won in the second game of the season by a landslide, 102-66, and then in game 2 it was much closer. It was 91-80 in game number 2. Now, Indiana yesterday played and they won by 1, so they picked up their first home victory for the Fever yesterday, and then they had to travel out to Brooklyn, New York tonight for this matchup to play on the road, so that's a tough asking to do there, flying all the way halfway across the country out from Indiana to Brooklyn for this matchup. What's good, Hockey from Home? Thanks for joining in. A7 Night Vision on the stream, taking New York for this matchup. If you guys are new in the channel, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams. And also, I'll be back as well on Thursday night for the NBA Finals Game 1 between the Celtics and the Mavs. Just wanted to try something different here, see how many people we get for a WNBA stream, my first ever WNBA stream for this one here. But yeah, Fever having a tough year, and it's been growing pains for Caitlin Clark. Just a big notch up between college hoops for women's at the Division I level and the WNBA, going up against veteran paid professional players, and the WNBA just entirely different in terms of basketball between the next step up in the level. And she's had a tough year, especially when it comes down to efficiency. She leads the team in scoring. It's above 16 points per game, and it's not like what her numbers were at Iowa when she was playing college hoops this year. And it's been so many games for her. I can imagine just must be so tough to adjust, because by the time they had the draft, it was like early May, and it was before college graduation, and then it goes right into the preseason, and then like 2 weeks later, they're right into regular season games. So there was barely a layoff for her between the national championship game for college basketball, and then like a month later, there's the WNBA draft, and then like a couple days later after that, there's preseason, and then straight into WNBA games. Whereas, like, she's wrapping up college at that time. So, just so much basketball for her, just, like, since September when they started practices at college. She has been, like, nonstop for her. Like, basically, it's going to be 12 months straight of basketball from, like, September to September, most likely, for her. But what's good? Kurt on the stream, Ice Ice Baby, thanks for joining in. Jake on the channel, welcome aboard, being a part here to stream. Indiana, the team that Caitlin Clark plays on, just 2 total victories, 2-8 record this season. They won against the LA Sparks 78-73 on May 24th, and they won against the Chicago Sky yesterday, their best win of the season, against the 8th place team in the WNBA, 71-70. And they only got 2 losses on the flip side here for the New York Liberty, where they have a 6-2 record. They lost against the Chicago Sky 90-81. They lost against the Minnesota Lynx 84-67. So right into it, the starters: Christy Wallace, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, Nalissa Smith, and Aaliyah Boston for Indiana. Courtney Vandersloot, Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, Jonquel Jones, and number 44 inside the starting 5 with Benijah Laney Hamilton. So that's the starting lines for both of these teams. And welcome in, everybody. Jake on the channel, welcome in. Klepto Eastside on the channel, welcome in. Taking the fever for Caitlin Clark for this matchup. And this is my first WNBA stream, by the way. I cover play-by-play NBA college hoops games. Never tried the WNBA. Wanted to try it tonight to see what the audience would be like. But you don't see the color scheme too much that New York has. They're wearing that teal jersey with the black numbers, black letters. It's a really cool color scheme that they have with the teal. You don't see the teal color too often. New York's going right to left on the floor. Indiana Fever, white uniforms, black numbers, black letters for this matchup, left to right, and we are underway. The ball gets tipped directly to a wide open layup to begin. Up and in off the glass for New York to start off with a quick 2-zip lead. 10 seconds into the game. Tough to identify their numbers too, because they're basically like black on black for the uniforms for New York. What they have. Sabrina Ionescu at the elbow. Kick out corner. Here's a 3 by New York. It rattles in. That is good from the outside by Laney Hamilton. 5-zip already in the opening 45 seconds. Yeah, Mr. Top's been doing pretty well. Joe, thanks for joining in. Clark, her first shot, it was a runner inside. The key missed rim short, and a defensive rebound hauled in by New York. Already controlling this game in the opening minutes right now, as they'll get to put up a jumper, missed off the mark in the free throw circle. Offensive rebound wide open with Laney Hamilton outside. Here's a 3, launched it off the back rim, no good by New York, as they couldn't make the 3 at the wing. Clark will bring it up the floor. So 0 for 1 in the opening minute by Caitlin Clark. Deep 2 jumper. That's a tough shot attempted by Indiana as they bricked it off the rim. And here goes New York up the floor with it. What's good, Charlisa? Thanks for joining in. The lob down low. We get a quick foul here. Number 0 for Indiana. Kelsey Mitchell picks up the fall as Stewart trying to post up down low off the entry pass. Got knocked down into and fouled. This results in an inbound for New York. Handoff, Ionescu, baseline dribble all the way to the cup. She scores up and it off the glass. Wow. 7-zip with a start here by New York, just taking control of this game. They had a ginormous victory against Indiana back in game number 2 this season. And there's the first bucket finally. Indiana Fever on the board. Clark with an assist. There's a layup downhill to the lane by Nalissa Smith. So opening 2 minutes so far. Entry pass down low leads to the open bucket right back by New York. Number 44 able to score inside the paint with Laney Hamilton. It's good to see if they can put together some stops here. Clark, straightaway 3 off the back heel, no good. A good look at that catch and fire. The 32-footer couldn't make it off the mark, and quick in transition as the defense isn't there for Indiana. Going to lead to a quick timeout. Off to the trail, a wide open layup scored by the Liberty. It's 11-2 already to start off this game. That's Jonquel Jones on the board off the full court outlet by Ionescu, and then it was passed right back over to the trail to play. Jonquel Jones scores the layup. So already, this game's been a blowout right from the start here. 11-2, we take the first timeout. Indiana burns a timeout with 7:24 left to go in the first. All right, so we head over to the first timeout. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and thanks all for joining in. This is my first ever stream that I've covered WNBA before, so wanted to try out something new, see how it goes. Yeah, tough start for Caitlin Clark already. For her, missed a runner inside the key, missed a three-point shot. It was a good look that she had on the three-point shot. Took like a 32-footer straight away, but bricked it off the rim. So they've only got 2 so far to begin for the Fever. That's coming from Nalissa Smith. And then Liberty able to spread out those points. 4 starters able to score. 5 points by Jonquel Jones leading the way. Sabrina Ionescu, she's got 2. Stewart and Lainey Hamilton with 2 as well. Yeah, doing pretty well, hanging in there. And New York just going for so high percentage shots and making those shots so far. Indiana's making it tough. Clark missed that long range 3. There was a deep range 2 that they attempted as well that they couldn't make either. So it's been a tough start to begin this game for Indiana right now. It's indicated by the scoreboard that everything's been happening at the rim to begin for New York. Hey, what's good, Bradley? Welcome back in there, man. Yeah, my first ever time covering the WNBA, so wasn't sure what to expect here, but we'll see how it goes tonight. All right, so we're going to get back to action. Indiana with a basketball. Caitlin Clark in the backcourt gets the inbound as she crosses the midcourt logo. Clark swings it out to the corner. Deep 2 baseline jumper, no good. And another tough shot selection, just misfiring by Indiana to begin this game. Ionescu gets past one defender. Off the roll down, kick out to the corner. Wide open 3 for New York. They couldn't make the corner 3 with Jones. Jones got 5 so far. Outlet pass, and behind the defense, Indiana scores the layup with Kelsey Mitchell. There we go. They cut it 1-7 right now. Ionescu attacking downhill to the cup and scores the layup right back. 13-4 now for New York. Clark past midcourt. Clark hands it off to her teammate on top here with Smith for the Fever. Outside to the right to Christy Wallace. Wallace, deep 2 jumper, skidded off the front rim. Tried to save it with Smith. Couldn't track it down. It will go out of bounds. Yeah, they're still taking a lot of just tough shots, especially in this league. I mean, those are really just low percentage shots to begin this game. New York with the ball back as they attack to the rim, and they got it to go plus the foul. 15-4 now for New York, just dominant right from the start to begin with Benijah Laney Hamilton, who gets the +1. Vaughn, what's good? Wanted to try something new for tonight. Wasn't sure how it would go. Definitely wanted to try out a Caitlin Clark stream. And the free throw is good. 16-4, yeah. It's very lopsided in this game right now. Clark with possession. She has yet to score so far, missing 2 shots by Clark. Clark guarded by 1 defender around the wing of the perimeter. Bounce pass down low. Off the pivot, and a hook shot missed. Skipped around the rim and out. Missed by number 7, Aaliyah Boston, South Carolina, for Indiana. And New York here up by 12. Chance to creep up this lead right now. Wide open three straight away. No good. Skated off the rim out of bounds. It will be India the ball. Got 30 plus right now watching. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. And just a really difficult start here for Indiana, getting into zero rhythm offensively. Defense has been major issues to begin this game right now. And Caitlin Clark still scoreless. Hey, Joanne, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Mitchell backs her way around the perimeter, slides it outside to Erica Wheeler. Over to Smith, backing her way inside the low post, and Smith commits the travel. So turnover by Indiana. That's now 2 for turnovers. New York playing turnover-free basketball so far with 0. Stewart, she's had 2 big games so far against the Fever this season. Here's a turnaround at the mid-block, and it connects. So it's 18-4 now. New York just out to a strong start. And Stewart gets a bucket there off the turnaround, so she is up to 4. Missed shot. Too tough off the glass there by Wheeler. Couldn't connect, and now they push tempo with numbers out of transition. Couldn't finish at the rim. No good for the Liberty. 18-4 currently as New York has it up the floor. Clark receives the pass. Clark open. 3 off the screen. Takes it. No good. Missed off the back rim. So yet to find the groove so far for Caitlin Clark, as she is still scoreless, missing her second 3 from the perimeter. Another good look, but just couldn't send it down, and the jumper's good at the low block as New York goes up 20-4. But Nigel Laney Hamilton having an excellent start so far this game. Another missed 3 by Clark from deep range, deflected out of bounds. Last touch by New York. Yikes. Yeah, tough start. Yeah, body language not looking so good on this one for Caitlin Clark. Big game against a top-tier team in the WNBA. Second place New York Liberty. And right now Indiana's 11 out of 12 in the WNBA for their placement. A loose ball out of bounds, and it's going to stay with the Liberty right now. Courtney Vandersloot off the dribble, lost it, but without a bounce off a Fever player. Now Clark will check out of the game. So rough go-around for Caitlin Clark to begin today. Nothing in the board, 0 for 4. She takes a seat on the bench. So we'll see if she can respond after she checks back into the game once again. But right now, she's on the bench, catching fire. It's good. From downtown, Ionescu knocks down the triple. 23-4 for New York. That was Stewart, number 30. Ionescu's 20. Their uniform's tough to read. That was Stewart. Stewart's had, I was looking at her numbers, she's had 2 massive games against Indiana so far this season. New York with another 3 out of transition. Missed at Liberty. Couldn't control the rebound. Back to the Fever. Jumper's good at the baseline for Indiana. Oh, that's awesome. So they had Larry Bird coverage for the Bird Museum. That's great there, Joe. Yeah, I did not catch that. Baseline jumper. That was forced up. Missed off the mark for the Liberty. Rebound controlled here for Indiana. They'll lead to a corner 3. That's well off the mark and an air ball. So down to under 2:40 left to go in the first. Just a dominant performance. Step back 3. There's the 3 by Ionescu as she splashes it off the step back. It's a 20-point lead right now for the Liberty. Right baseline dribble. Mitchell swings it out to the corner off the bounce pass. Wide open 3, and the Fever finally are able to make a 3. Number 3, Christy Wallace sending one down in just a blowout opening quarter to begin this game. Just two teams that's completely just miles apart from one another right now. 26-9. Yeah, they're showing the percentages. Clark's really struggling. First 10 games of her career, only 31% from three. Just showed Ionescu's first 10 games from a few years ago. Shot over 40% from three. Made a nasty step back a couple minutes ago out in transition. They capitalize off the steal. Number 2 for the Liberty scores. Kennedy Burke up and in off the glass. It's 28-9. Just a rough start here at all facets of the game for Indiana. There you go. That's a high percentage shot. Good, and a 1. So Aaliyah Boston gets the bucket plus the free throws coming up. Yes, this will be my only stream today. Next stream won't be until game 1 of the finals for me. So there'll be a free throw coming up. Aaliyah Boston able to make the shot. Got fouled and 1. That is good. So it's a 16-point game right now. Still a long way to come back, but it all starts if you can get stops. Ionescu, her 3, bricked off the back rim. Battle for the rebound. Loose ball, foul picked up. Charge to the Fever here. And Clark checks back into the game. So Caitlin Clark, she was benched for a couple minutes, just checked back into the game as they bring the double off to Ionescu. Backing her way in the corner. It was Stewart, and the Fever pick up the reach and foul here. Actually, it's going to lead to free throws at the line. They're actually going to call it defensive 3-second technical. So defensive 3-second technical, 1 free throw, it was good. So 29-12. Ionescu, guarded by Clark, swings it out to the corner. 2 in the shot clock off the turnaround baseline. It goes down for the Liberty. You can just see a much more efficient shooting team. Liberty is able to make those shots for deep 2Gs, while the Fever are really struggling to get going right now into any sort of flow. Clark, 0 for 4 shooting at the top. Had it deflected, stole away. Clark turns it over, and Clark strips it from behind. Went out of bounds. It went off the Liberty last, so that's a turnover by Kayla Thornton as it went off her foot. So good recovery back in the defensive side of the floor. That looked like it clearly should have been a 2-point play, possibly an and 1, but Clark stripped it off of Thornton. No call, but the refs let it play on, and it went off of Thornton last out of bounds. So good recovery there after Clark initially turned it over. Bounce pass down to the low block, bringing a double. Guarded by Stewart, and number 1 for the Fever going to head to the free throw line, shoot 2. So this is going to be Nalissa Smith shooting 2 shots coming up at the line. So we're down to, already, this has been a quick quarter. 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. They play 10-minute quarters, so it's 8 minutes shy of what the NBA is. They play 40-minute games instead of the 48 minutes. One for 2 at the free throw line. With under 30 seconds left to go in the first. Yeah, they must have, like, there's going to be, like, a handbook of rules that they have for for sports that you have to go. It's like mandatory to go to those post-game press conferences. So that's why Angel Reese was fine. Down to the final seconds left to go. The first quarter, 3 no good. Around the rim and out, missed by Indiana to close out the end of the quarter. So that was Erica Wheeler who took the corner 3, but 3-1. This is just a lopsided game right now. 31-13 at the end of the first quarter. The Liberty just pouncing all over the Fever at the end of the first. Yeah, Caitlin Clark's only had 2 games this season where she scored in single digits. And this is looking like potentially this could be a third right now here. Just a very challenging defense compared to like other teams throughout the course of the league. This is the number 2 team right now in the WNBA standings at the moment. She's having a lot of trouble so far. So yet to make a shot, 0 for 3 from 3. Had the looks though, just wasn't able to make them down. She missed on the floater on her first shot to begin the game. So she's got nothing. She's the only starter for the Fever that's got 0 points currently to begin. And the Liberty just getting high percentage looks, taking it to the rim, and finding the gaps of the Fever's defense at 56.5% shooting for New York. Fever shooting just 28% right now from the floor. They got 7 different scores for New York. 7 points each between Benijah, Laney Hamilton, Brianna Stewart. She's got 7. And Sabrina Ionescu with 6. So, very lopsided game right now. But thanks all for joining in. If you guys are new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams in the channel. So they got 40 games this year for the WNBA, so it's like half of the NBA schedule. So they play 40 games. So they're going to go on a break in July because of the Olympics this year. Hey, what's good? No Ego in the channel. Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. So the regular season goes all the way to September, so it's a lengthy regular season. They got most of July off due to the Olympics taking place in July. There's a 3, and finally, Caitlin Clark is on the board as she splashes down her first bucket of the game. So it begins the second quarter. The big 3 by Clark as they cut the deficit to half right now, 31-16, as she is finally on the board. Her 5th shot attempt today, finally able to make one. The shovel pass down low, deflected out of bounds, and went off the Fever last. Inbound to the baseline. New York no good, bricked off the back rim with Leonie Fibit. They get the putback, though, for 2. That's good by Jonquil Jones. She's had a good start so far today for her. It's now 4-zip second chance points. Got a reach and follow here. Picked up inside the 3-point arc, charge to the Liberty. Karen, thanks for joining in. Yeah, that was tracked back by Vandersloot with that offensive rebound, allowed the second chance points to happen for New York. Clark looking for another bucket. Guarded one-on-one by Thornton around the perimeter. Got a reach and fall, picked up charge to Thornton. So Indiana gets the inbounds. Clark has it at the wing of the perimeter. Dribbles towards her left. Clark at the top of the key, working on one defender. Slides it off to her right. Lou Samuelson, number 33, off to Grace Berger now in the game. Her jumper to key missed off the mark. Offensive rebound. Jumper to free throw circle. Again around the rim and out. Missed with the space by Grace Berger. So 2 chances there for Indiana, but was not able to convert. So we're down to 8.5 left to go. Slicing defenders attacking to the rim, and Vandersloot draws the foul. So she'll shoot 2 now at the free throw line for the Liberty with Courtney Vandersloot. And Caitlin Clark, if you're just joining in tonight, just 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. And this is a very, very good New York squad. It's currently second place in the standings behind Connecticut, which is undefeated still this season. The first shot, no good by Vandersloot. Hey, what's good? App on the channel. Welcome back in here, bud. Thanks for joining in. Second shot, good by the Liberty. So Vandersloot makes... she splits the free throws. 18-point game. Clark receives the pass. Moves it down low. Nice pass by Clark, and the layup's good off the... cutter backdoor up and in off the glass. Good for 2 by Mitchell. So Caitlin Clark records the assist. Once again, 16-point game. They got to focus and see if they can get stops here for Indiana. That's been tough to come by. New York's making a lot of tough shots. And back to the free throw line. The Liberty will go once again and will shoot 2. So Benijah Laney Hamilton off a turnaround jumper inside the key. Able to draw the foul. She'll shoot 2 shots coming up at the line. The first one's good. Hey, what's good? Mr. Fulton on the channel. Welcome in. Wow, best of luck with that. Yeah, I remember you were telling me during a couple weeks ago on the stream that you were going for another gold medal. Best of luck to that this year. 36-18. Indiana with possession down at the low block. A 4 shot. They got it to go, plus the foul. So Grace Berger gets it over 1 defender, plus 1 coming up in the free throw line. Big shot there. They have been missing a lot of deep 2s. Off the spin move, working on Vandersloot. Got fouled by Vandersloot and 1. The free throw is good. So let's see if this can start to get them back into the game. But it all starts through their defense right now. Going to have to provide stops for Indiana. That's been tough to do as New York just found their way, especially down low, just like that. Strong bucket up and in off the glass. Jonquel Jones just making their way inside the low post with that presence known. Clark drives, bounce pass right corner. Right baseline dribble for the Fever, and a backdoor layup gets blocked by New York. It was missed by Nalissa Smith. Here to go up the floor. Down low to the rim, attacking, and there's a bucket. Benijah Laney Hamilton, assisted by Vandersloot, good for 2. That pass got deflected down low. Tough pass right there. He tried to thread the needle with Berger, leading to a 2-on-1 in the fast break, and Vandersloot scores the layup. 42-21. As we will take a timeout here on the floor right now. And this is just an absolutely lopsided game right from the start. Major block couple plays ago by Jonquel Jones. Led to the fast break buckets. It was fine bit over to Laney, and then down the lane off to our teammate in the 2-on-1 with Vandersloot, who scored a layup just a moment ago. So this has just been a blowout today. As we're under 7 minutes left to go before halftime, the Fever burn another timeout. Alright, if you guys are new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. I'll be back on Thursday for Game 1, Celtics and Mavs. That's my next stream I plan on covering. Will be Game 1 of the NBA Finals. MS in the stream, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, so there's one team that's worse than Indiana, and that's the Washington Mystics. So Washington is in last place right now, and then Indiana's in 11th. And New York's number 2. They've got 2 losses already to New York. And also Connecticut's number 1 because they played against Connecticut in the season opener for them. Yeah, so if you're just joining in right now, tough game by Caitlin Clark currently at the moment. Just 3 points in 11 minutes. 1 for 5 shooting and 1 for 4 from 3-point range. She did make her last shot from the floor, but she actually got benched during a stage of the first quarter because she was having just a really tough start to begin this game right now for Clark. But Nigel Laney Hamilton already up to double digits right now, so she's got 11 points, and the Liberty have just done it on both sides of the floor so far. Just so efficient. Like they can finish shots off at the rim. It's been difficult for Indiana to do that. They started off the game just falling behind, missing a lot of deep 2 jumpers, going for low percentage shots, and they just kept on breaking those shots, and they have finally started to make some, but it's been like a lot to come by right now. And then they just cannot put together stops on the defensive side of the floor. Yeah, I heard that Porzingis finally returned to practice, so he was doing like scrimmage work on 5-on-5s against his team during practice, and also was taking part of intensive part of practice there. So Porzingis is gonna be back. He should be back on Thursday for Game 1 for him. He posted on Twitter a couple days ago too. Thank you for the best wishes. And then it was in Latvian, so it was tough to tell what it was because I don't know Latvian. The 3-point shot's good by the Fever though, and it's now 42-24. Yeah, New York's jerseys are really tough to figure out because they got a teal on black, but the black is shaded in at the top of the jersey too. That was Jones off the fall away. Jonquel Jones now is up to 9 total points, so she is able to put her team up by 20. Missed shot at the rim by Indiana. Loose ball in the backcourt. It's picked up by New York, and a reach and foul picked up, charge to the Fever here. Hey, what's good? Jeffrey in the stream, welcome in. Yeah, I'm probably not in the off season. For myself, I'm probably gonna take quite a bit of a break for me after the finals is done. Actually, yesterday, me and my girlfriend went on a tour of a house. We're trying to find a place to live together, hopefully soon. So I'm gonna have to take courses and stuff. So I have to go through like a first-time homebuyer course coming up in the next few weeks. So I've got like a lot of stuff. It's probably gonna be a big adjustment for me, most likely, for myself. Like the issue is that not a whole lot of stuff is in my range right now, so I'm probably gonna have to pick up like a second job that pays like an actual like hourly salary or so, because just the streaming money outside of the playoffs just won't be enough for me, like outside of the NBA finals and the conference finals and stuff, for me to keep on generating like a solid income. That's the only thing that I'm really worried about. Couple missed shots here quickly up the floors. We're down to 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Quarter three is good by the Fever. So Kelsey Mitchell makes the corner three. It's now 44-27. Yeah, I saw Connecticut Sun's undefeated. I went to Mohegan Sun a couple of years ago when Providence played against St. Louis a few years back. And they're back, I believe, in the tournament once again this year. They got a good tournament in store. I believe Boston College is in that tournament. UMass might be in that tournament as well. And then there's another team that's in that grouping, Clark. Drives inside the paint. Clark, skip pass out to the left baseline. Clark inside the key and tripped up here. Stewart tripped up Nalissa Smith. So Stewart picks up the foul. Number 5, Kayla Thornton is going to check in. Once again, Stewart comes out. Runner inside the key, and they missed it. Kelsey Mitchell had a good opportunity right there down low. Just too much of a touch right there in that floater. Bounce pass goes out of bounds. Missed the mark. Turnover committed by Ionescu in New York. Yeah, so favorite team in college is Providence. I actually work with Stonehill quite a bit for games, so that's my first D1 team that I was able to work with this year for them. And Indiana's going to get called here at an illegal offensive screen that they set, so that's a quick turnover committed by the Fever. I mean, that's a crusher for them to see if they can get back into this game right now, trailing by 17. You make a 3 or make a 2, it's a 14, 15-point game if they make that shot, and now you have to rely on their defense to get themselves a stop. It's been a tough time that they had a lot of issues so far defensively in this game. Ionescu jacks of the 3, missed off the rim short. Smith collects the defensive rebounds. Up the floor, crossing midcourt with Erica Wheeler for the Fever. As Clark is on the floor currently, Wheeler bounce pass over to the low block. Outside, it goes to Mitchell. Mitchell drives in Ionescu at the free throw circle. Mitchell over to the corner, handoff back to Mitchell. Spots up for the 3, and she nails it. 44-30. As she receives it off the handoff, Kelsey Mitchell across back within 14 for the Fever. So a timeout taken on the floor by New York right now. Indiana getting into a little bit of a run here currently. So we're down to 3:16 left to go before halftime and making things a little bit more interesting. Yeah, this game was not close to start off. This game was just an absolute blowout. 31-13 at the end of the first quarter. The Fever now lead the second quarter box score 17-13. And Clark has had a minimal impact in this game today, but their teammates right now have stepped up. So Caitlin Clark just 3 points in 14 minutes on 1 for 5 shooting. Kelsey Mitchell is breaking out. 12 points, just made her second 3 from the corner of the game. Helping our team getting back into this game. Yeah, good question there. If the New York Knicks didn't exist, who would represent you guys? Well, you still get the Brooklyn Nets too, but if you take away both New York and Brooklyn, then yeah, that's a good question. Probably more so Philadelphia, because Boston's like 3 hours away from New York, whereas Philadelphia is less. I think it's like an hour and a half to get there. I can definitely see like upstate New York rooting for like the Celtics if there wasn't any professional New York teams. Like anything like Albany northwards, because that's closer to Boston than it is to Philadelphia by that travel time. And basically, that's more like Vermont and some of those areas, like anything that's like close to like the Vermont border. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I heard a couple of days ago they're playing in the Bahamas over Thanksgiving break. Oh yeah. Yeah, same as Boston. Boston's just huge. Usually takes like 30, 45 minutes in some parts of Boston to get like to the top part of Boston. 14-point game right now as we come back from the timeout. 3:10 left to go before halftime, and the Liberty up by 14 with possession. As it will be a three jacked up by Ionescu. No good off the mark. Tipped up and tapped over. Save for the offensive rebound. Ionescu sends it out on top. Handoff back to Ionescu. Brings alongside a double team. Shot clock is down to 5 here for the Liberty. Inside the key. The runner off the glass. No good. Putbacks there for 2. Just too easy. Jonquel Jones having her way. 6-0. Second chance points in favor to Liberty right now. Fever straight away. 3. No good off the mark. Tipped up to the perimeter where Ionescu comes down with it. Ionescu spin move past one defender. Fired a fastball down low. Couldn't convert though off the fingertips of Laney Hamilton. That's a turnover. That would have been great right there if they were able to execute that, but unfortunately not able to. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's not good right there if he's not showing up to work. The Fever able to score inside a low post number 1, Alyssa Smith. Yeah, my computer was doing well like the last like 2 weeks or so. It hasn't showed up since like the late stage of the conference semifinals. Unfortunately, it's back once again. I'm probably gonna have to see if I can get another laptop. So that's gonna probably be like another $500 or so. Unfortunately, probably gonna have to eventually take like a second job after work somehow for me. Kelsey Mitchell just buried another 3. Quarter 3 splash. It's good by the Liberty. Kennedy Burke knocks down the 3. Clark, only 3 for her. Clark gets blocked out of bounds, so it'll stay Fever ball. Yeah, my other laptop that they have is 9 years old currently. Fever missed the 3, skipped around the rim and out. Deflected by Ionescu, picked up though on the floor by Mitchell. Mitchell with a 3, skipped around the rim and out. Rebound controlled by New York. A 51-35, final minute left to go before half. Lob down low underneath, and New York able to score off the entry pass for 2 more by Jonquel Jones. Hey, thanks so much, Ice Ice Baby. Really appreciate it. You guys, the legends here on the channel. Yeah, I might get one when I go up to New Hampshire this week if it keeps up, depending on how it goes. Clark with a steal. Clark being aggressive, couldn't finish at the rim. Put back is there, though, for 2 by the Fever. That would have been making the highlight reels right there if Clark was able to score that. She took it a distance, just wasn't able to lay it up and in, just a little bit too strong off the glass. So a very difficult start here today for Caitlin Clark, missing a bunch of efficiency here. But the legend with the Ice Baby, really appreciate it with a dono. Absolute legends here on the channel. Thanks so much. 2 shots coming up at the free throw line for New York. So we're down to 2.5 seconds left to go. Yeah, I'm going to have to probably see if last-ditch effort, if I can blow out the computer again. That's what I did back in April, and it worked. And then I did it a couple weeks ago, and it still was an issue. Yeah. It's like, it's up there at age. It's 9 years old. That was my first computer when I did my college internship back in 2015. Deep range 3, no good. Missed by Indiana. Just a lopsided performance in the first half here. 55-37. The first half of action. And Indiana Fever looking for a much better second half, but just a lot of issues with efficiency so far, and just cannot provide enough defensive stops to get themselves back into this game. And there's just so much gaps and driving lanes for New York to have a chance. Wow, yeah, that's a really good tournament. So Gonzaga's in that bracket. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, they get quality games right there. So that's like a mix between teams. So Louisville is going to be much, much better. Oklahoma, I think they're returning back a couple of key players who were entering the NBA draft for them, and then they came back. I feel like if Providence and Oklahoma, if they play against each other, that's going to be like a one-possession game. Like, both of those teams usually, like, they're usually very close to each other seed lines for the tournament. I feel like they have like identical seasons to one another. Yeah, Indiana should be much better too this year. Wow. Yeah, Gonzaga and Arizona, that's stacked because those two would be the favorites. West Virginia's going to be much better than they were last year. Davidson's in that grouping. Wow. Hey, there we go. That's awesome. Yeah, I think there's another guy who does Celtics games, but I'm not sure if he streams them right now. I'm not entirely sure. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. Next stream will be on Thursday night covering the finals, Game 1, Celtics against Mavs. Yeah, I got a long week this week, actually. So starting tomorrow, I'm supposed to train somebody at work for tomorrow. So I'm there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. tomorrow. It's going to be a really, really long day. My actual work hours are 8 to 4, so what's unfortunate about it is because I'm going to be at work all the way from 8 to 8 is that I don't get paid for anywhere from 4 to 6 for tomorrow, which is too bad. Because even though I stay late, to show that I'm working, I'm not helping out the other person, but it's I don't live like close enough for myself that I can like go home and then come back. That's the thing. So I have to stay because if I drive back after I finished up my shift at 4 and then get home, it's like 4:45, and then I have to get back for 6. and then I have to train this person until they are able to get down what they need to do, which could cut into the finals time too for me. So if I'm still training on Thursday, I'm probably gonna start the stream at like 8:40 probably. If I'm still stuck in training on Thursday, I'm supposed to go up to New Hampshire on Friday, so I have to tell management that if the person wants me, no, because I'm not getting up at like 2 in the morning up in New Hampshire. If I have to leave work at 8, my actual hours that I'm obligated to be there for are just 8 to 4, and I have to work 12-hour shifts beginning this week. He's supposed to host a new show, so it starts tomorrow. It's a sports talk show that I have to train the guy on for. Actually, it's so if you've heard of the name Chris Herron, Chris Herron played in the NBA. He played in the NBA back in the late 90s, early 2000s. He actually played for the Celtics in 2000 and 2001, and I was talking about it during my last stream. Never do drugs. That's the whole story right there. He actually, what ended his NBA career, because he's a motivational speaker, is that he talked about all the drugs that he did in the NBA, how he played for the Celtics in 2000, and he was waiting for the man on the side of the street on Causeway Street for the man with a yellow pill. What he called the guy, and he would have some random man with a yellow pill come up to him on the street and give him all these types of like drugs and stuff, like Oxycontin. It has a couple of the names of the stuff that he took in his Wikipedia page. So he's not hosting the show. So it's not Chris Herron who's hosting the show. His brother is the one that I'm training though. So his brother's the guy who I'm training tomorrow. But the guy who I'm training, his brother Chris, played in the NBA in the late 90s and 2000s, and he actually died for 30 seconds according to his Wikipedia page. He had a drunk driving arrest, and he was doing drugs, and he actually passed out at the wheel, crashed into a pole, and he was approximately dead for 30 seconds, and got revived back to life. But yeah, that's the big story right there. Never to do drugs. Bill, what's good? Welcome in. Not that much for Luka and Kyrie. I think Luka's going to get his like 30, 35 points plus, but if they can shut down Kyrie, I think they're going to be in good hands in the playoffs. I feel, my opinion about the series, I feel like the Celtics are going to have more balance, especially if Porzingis comes back and he performs back to what he was doing this season for him. And I've heard a lot of good stuff within the last like couple of days on Porzingis. Hey, what's good, Forest Dweller in the stream? Welcome in. Yeah, there's been a tough matchup right now for Caitlin Clark, so she's only got 3 points. The start of the WNBA season, in my opinion, just doesn't have any favors for Caitlin Clark. I was thinking about it, like, how in the world did she, like, graduate college? Like, did she attend her graduation? Because the WNBA season was already underway by the time college graduation started to go on. Like, she's played constant basketball, like, games all the way since November right now for Caitlin Clark. There's been no nonstop, or it's been basically nonstop. Like, she's barely had any breaks. Plus, like, all the stuff that she does for, like, endorsements and sponsorships. Like her schedule is jam-packed every single day. What she has. She's been constantly nonstop. That's such a tough adjustment as a 22, 23-year-old female from college hoops to, like, professional hoops, and the draft took place before her college graduation. Like once she has like a full off season to like reset her mind and stuff, she's gonna be just like unstoppable. What she was in college, it's gonna take some time to get used to the physicality, because there's a huge step up in the WNBA from where it is in college. But once she's able to get into the mindset, have like a break, I think we might even see that when they do the Olympics in July, the WNBA goes in the break. We'll probably see a different Caitlin Clark by then, because actually she'll have downtime, like time to catch up on stuff. No, I've never met Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, so he went to high school in Durfee. Yeah, I think there's like a film out there, or like a book out there about Fall River hoop dreams. That's out there, so that's like the whole Heron story. Oh wow, I did not see that. So Luca's mother will not be in Boston to see Luca play. Did not see that. Yeah, the role players have played extremely well. Lively, Gafford, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. Those guys have been really good. Yeah, if they continue to keep on playing like that, then we're gonna have one heck of a series. That's for sure. Boston's got more like balance with their options, but if guys start to go off, like Washington and Gafford and Derrick Jones, then that's going to make it much more challenging than it should look for a series. Because it's going to be tough to beat the Mavs when you got Luka and Kyrie. Whatever, both of them drop down 30. That's going to be tough to win games. I expect Luka to get his 30 points, but I think it's going to come down to just whether Kyrie is going to go off or be shut down in that series. And whenever he goes off, it's going to be a Dallas win. Whenever he gets shut down, it's going to be a Celtics win in that series. But if there's role players who's going off and have better scoring games than Kyrie, then that's going to offset it, and Dallas is going to win. All right, so we're going to get back in a couple minutes from now here. Yeah, I was about to go get Mr. Tops, but then I realized that these half times are very limited in time, that they're going to start off the second half. I think real soon they're going to start off the second half compared to like the NBA playoffs halftime. It's very, very limited in halftime. Much less time compared to like the NBA for halftime. If you're new in the stream and enjoy the content, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and ring the notification bell here if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams on the channel. And New York just so dominant in this game. 56% shooting, limiting the Fever to just 37% shots from the floor. This score, before you knew it was 7-0 for the Liberty, and then it was 20-4 at one point for the Liberty. I'm just starting to get into the WNBA right now. I didn't really like pick it up until like Caitlin Clark. Like I wanted to like see some like different stuff this year. Anastasia, welcome in. Thanks for joining back in. Yeah, Connecticut's the closest team to me, so I'd probably go Connecticut. I've been to that arena, really nice arena, Mohegan Sun Arena, a few years ago. Providence, I actually caught the PC Friars in there, so Providence played against St. Louis in a neutral court game a few years back at Mohegan Sun Arena. Yeah, shockingly, that was a Providence loss in that game. And I remember I was going out of the arena that day, and I was like, yeah, that's the difference between making the tournament and missing the tournament. Could be that game alone, a bad loss against St. Louis on neutral floor. That's like you're an hour away from where you played, in St. Louis is halfway across the country. Yes, I think the Celtics can win the whole thing. Yeah, really promising that Porzingis is coming back. I hear the reports, and the reports sound pretty promising for him. So he's been playing in practice on like 5-on-5s for Porzingis, and from what I heard before I went live today, I watched the news, and one of the Boston news stations reported that he took part of an intensive practice earlier today for Porzingis. So he was part of the intensive session for him. That's good. So good news for like a step up. I got Celtics in 6 in the series. Yeah, I'm hoping it goes less than 7. Game 7, actually, I have a place to be throughout the day, so I got tickets to go up to the NASCAR race in New Hampshire on June 23rd. For me, I had those tickets set in stone like a long time ago, like back in I renewed my tickets back in September, and I didn't realize until a couple weeks ago that the NBA Finals was also on that same dates. I guess what's good is that the race starts at 2:30, so it's not like last year where it started at 3:30, and then a couple of years ago when I went, it started at like 4 o'clock because it got into a rain delay. It didn't finish until like 8:25, and it got called 7 laps shy of the 3:01 for the final laps because of it got called because of darkness. They don't have lights at that racetrack, but I mean the good sign is that it's going to start an hour earlier this year. It's just I don't think I can get out of the parking lot and be back in time. It's like a 2.5 hour drive, and usually like an hour parking jam out there. Last year I ended up going on a Monday because they had a tornado warning during that weekend. They always race in July. This year they pushed it up to June, so I didn't realize it until like a couple weeks ago. Uncle Big Man, thanks for joining in on the stream. 55-37 right now. As we are back to action, Fever looking to cut this deficit at the moment. It's too tall off the glass, missing the layup with a left hand forward of Fever. And Clark came up with a steal, though, all the way in the backcourt. So Clark has possession of it. Clark, kick out to the baseline. A jumper, deep two. It rattles in. Alyssa Smith knocks down the deep two. So Uncle Big Man liking it in 5 here. Thanks for joining in for Uncle Big Man. Ionescu brings along a double team. Gets the way off to Stewart. Stewart at the low block. Swings it outside left corner. And the pass got intercepted. Fever up the floor. Ionescu is the one defender to beat, and taking it to the rack. It's Alyssa Smith again with a layup. Getting interesting right now, 55-41. Yeah, I would recommend the Sports Fury. So, yeah, if it does go to a Game 7, I'll put in the community tab about the Sports Fury if it does go into that Game 7. They have over 250,000 subs, and they get so many people out on their channel. So they do like all of the games for like NBA live stream coverage. I've been doing it on the channel for over 5 years right now. Play-by-play guys, I would go with Gus Johnson. He's my top one there. And then a lot of like the national guys are good. Kevin Harlan, Mike Breen, Jim Nance, Ian Eagle. All those guys are really good. My favorite one, though, is Gus Johnson. Yeah, I actually, before I started streaming, I saw the Sports Fury and a couple other guys that were streamers, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I should see if I could do it. So I started off my channel, and it was in the bubble. That's when it really just broke loose, was in the bubble, because we had like 1,000 subs back in 2020, and then in the bubble, it went all the way up from 1,000 subs to like 8,000. Jumper at the elbow, missed off the mark, no good by the Liberty by Stewart, and the Fever down by 16 with possession. Clark laces up a 3 in transition off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound hauled in by Smith. Smith bounce pass, oh nice dime underneath, and the bucket's good, up and in off the glass by Kelsey Mitchell. That's the best possession all game long off the second chance points. Beautiful backdoor feed by Nalissa Smith with a layup. Bounce pass, deflected, intercepted. Fever with a steal up in the floor. Christy Wallace lobs it over to the low block. Off the double, they find Mitchell. Mitchell, jumper, free throw circle, connects on it. 57-45, and New York has to burn a timeout. Finally getting into a groove here for Indiana. Two of the better possessions that we've seen this entire game right now, as we will take a timeout. 6:44 left to go in the third. Only down to a 12-point game right now as Indiana on an 8-2 start in the third quarter. Good start to make this a game right now for the Fever currently. Yeah, so I heard about it. I saw somebody posted a video of it. It was right before I scheduled my stream today. I saw that. I didn't click on it though. Yeah, she's played just constant basketball. There's so much stuff going on with her life. Like that's totally different from any other like WNBA player. Like her schedule must be jam-packed because she's out there doing like sponsorships, endorsements, like constantly like recording and doing commercials. I can only imagine, like, she must have, like, very little time to, like, get rest and sleep for her. It's just such a tough adjustment for a rookie, especially when there's no downtime. Like, she got drafted when she was still in college. Like, the WNBA draft took place over a month ago, and she had, I think it was only like a month off in between the national championship game for women's basketball, and then she had like a month, and then the WNBA draft, and I believe she was still in college. Like that's probably around like final exam week or so, close to where the WNBA draft was, and then you got games going on 2 weeks later. Like the games are so quick. Preseason games, a couple preseason games, and then the actual games a couple weeks later. Harry, what's good? Welcome in. Yeah, my laptop fan from time to time it goes off. So yeah, it's like an old laptop. I'm hopefully gonna see if I can invest in another one. Yeah, got a lot of investment stuff that I gotta figure out for myself this year. So new laptop, that's probably going to be something. Me and my girlfriend just went to an open house yesterday, so we're looking to see if we can get something together. The issue is that my range for my mortgage, it barely any of the houses in my area I can find for when I'm pre-approved, so it's very, very difficult. I have to take the first-time homebuyer course in a couple weeks as well. Underneath, it's good for the bucket. Number 44 having a solid game for New York with Benijah, Laney, Hamilton, and Clark down the far side turns it over. Frustrated for Caitlin Clark, is just had a tough game today. Vegas, what's good? Welcome back to the stream, man. I do not watch the United Football League, so I just watch NFL for football. Stewart inside the key, outside. Here's a three, and it's good. Sabrina Ionescu just wide open. Makes it look so easy. 17-point lead. Clark straight away. No good. Just not her game. Around the rim and out. Disappointing night for Caitlin Clark. She only had 11 during the last game as well, so she's in a massive shooting slump here. Currently 2 for 9 yesterday shooting as New York weaves their way for the bucket inside the key. And just when things were going well for Indiana, 8-2 run to begin the third quarter, they have struggled to find their shot once again. New York's made their adjustments, got into the rim, and able to provide defensive stops. Out to the left quarter, Christy Wallace. Boston over to Wallace. Quarter 3, Wallace bricked it off the rim, no good. A rebound secured by Stewart. Yeah, that's what we're trying to do for us. So I'm like in no rush for that. I'm hoping to see if I can just be able to like find stuff that's within a reasonable range, because the prices in my state and Mass are just not reasonable. Like I was telling my girlfriend, I wish I could be closer to where she is, because she's more towards Boston, I'm more towards Providence, but I can't afford places in that area going for like $800,000, $900,000, $1 million all in the Boston area. It's crazy. Like there's a massive cutoff between like two towns, because it's crazy. Like the difference between one town over, like 5 minutes apart. Like one town is like $300,000 for their houses, and the town north of that, which is like 5 minutes closer to Boston, is $600,000, and then after that it goes all the way up to like 800 to $1 million. Like over there, it's crazy. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the third, and down low, bucket's good, up and it off the glass by Kelsey Mitchell for the Fever. Yep, and that's what we're looking for. We're just looking for a starter home. So we toured a house yesterday that was it was around like 870 square foot. So we're not looking for like anything like gigantic or anything. Like preferably something around like 800 to 1,000. That's what we're looking for square footage. What's good? Diamond McSnap on the channel. Welcome in. But the crazy part about it is that a lot of places, including the town that I live in, they're not even building those types of houses. Like, I'm looking all around on Zillow, and everything's like 2,000 square foot, 800, 900,000. It's crazy. Yeah, this is my first ever time covering a WNBA stream before. We got a pretty good crowd for it today, so appreciate you guys for joining in here. First ever time doing this. UNESCO, that is good for 2. Yeah, we're looking for a 2-bedroom and 1 bathroom, like 800 to like 1,000, upwards to 1,200 square foot if they have that. But yeah, just looking for something that's simple and a starter. So nothing much to ask for. Clark, kick out to the corner, missed 3 by Mitchell off the back rim, rebound controlled by New York. New York has just controlled this entire game right from the start. As we're down to 4 minutes left to go in the third. Baseline jumper is good for New York to extend the lead. But Nyjah Laney Hamilton having a really solid game today by her right now. Mitchell leads the way with 21 for the Fever. Laney Hamilton leads the way for New York with 17. 15 by Jones, 12 by Ionescu. A turnaround jumper, free throw circle, no good off the rim, and out. It was missed by Wallace for the Fever. New York with a possession right here. They swing it down low, off to the trailer, and up and good off the glass. It's made by Stewart. So Brianna Stewart upping her point total now. She's got 9 points as she scores the bucket, and this game is super lopsided. 71-47 down to 3:18 left to go in the third quarter, and Fever will burn a timeout. Yeah, so they play just 10-minute quarters for WNBA, so this game's gone by quick. So it goes by much quicker than NBA streams because it's only 10-minute quarters, 40 total minutes that they play. It's actually the third quarter right now. Yeah, this could go down as a season low tonight for Caitlin Clark. She's only got 3 points currently, just 1 for 9 shooting, having a tough game out there. It must be so much for her. Like, a lot of people like bash her on social media and stuff. Like, this is a huge change for her. Like, for like any type of rookie. And actually, they played a game yesterday. They played a home game yesterday. So this is a huge adjustment for Indiana right now, based on how they played a home game yesterday and they had to fly out to New York and play today. Yep, so it's like the Olympics. So they got 4 10-minute quarters that they do. Yeah, thanks so much, Joanne, for joining in. Pretty good stream here. Got a lot of good people, 30 plus right now on the channel. Clark launches the three, no good. Came off the rim short. Offensive rebound controlled by Indiana number 17, Erica Wheeler. Outside to Clark once again. Lob down low off the entry pass to Smith at the low block. Smith brings along the double team, and New York commits the reach and follow with Brianna Stewart. I think if she had some more downtime, like if they had like an actual training camp where she could build chemistry with her teammates before like being selected for the WNBA draft, and then they go straight into preseason games and then actual games a couple weeks later, I think she would find a lot of success here in the early games for her. But it's so much because nobody's talking about as the corner three is good by New York. Kennedy Burke makes down the three. Nobody talks about how she was basically going from playing in the national championship game to like a month later being drafted, and then preseason games a couple weeks later, and then the regular season games right now. And yeah, both of them are point guards for their team. Buckets good down low for the Fever. 74-49, 2 minutes left to go in the third right now. Ionescu moves it out to her right to her teammate, back over to Ionescu as she dribbles around, handoff. Extra pass made to the corner to Burke. Outside Stewart. Here's a three straight away for New York, and they rattle it in. But Nigel Laney Hamilton having a huge game today, just buried down the three. Yeah, that's sad. That because by the time she was drafted, it had to be around like final exam week for her, or close to final exam week. It might have been a week before, depending on like college schedules. Like that. That's sad that she couldn't even go to her college graduation because they started the season off so quick. Yeah, the thing I hate is that so many people, all they do is just criticize and post on social media all day. Yeah, I'll probably be back for another WNBA stream sometime. What's good? Welcoming Christian on the stream. Probably Duke will be the #1 team for college basketball in the preseason for them. They get Cooper Flagg coming in. I saw a video that he was practicing with a couple other guys, and he told the guys to take him on 2-on-1. So he was going against 2 players the entire time for him, and I think he was winning that game against the 2 other players. But based on name recognition and how they picked up the top recruit this year for Duke, yeah, I would imagine Duke would be the preseason #1. Brianna Stewart at the free throw line shooting 2. First one is good. And she's now up to double-digit points. Just got her 10th point of the game just a moment ago. This game's taking place in the Barclays Center, so this is the Brooklyn Nets home court, too, where the New York Liberty play. The free throw is good. Yeah, so this has got plenty of opportunities for fans to see Caitlin Clark. The stands are packed right now. I can only see, like, because they got the camera angle on the court, I can only see, like, the first 6 rows going up, but there's no seats empty for this game here. Clark has it at the Barclays Center logo. Clark has to force up a prayer, or she passes it out to her left to her teammate. Results in a shot clock violation. It's a turnover. Yeah, I don't mind you shooting the ball there, Caitlin Clark. You gotta shoot the ball. Instead, she decided to make an extra pass with 1 second on the shot clock, and her teammate couldn't get off a shot. That's way too much. That would have been a prayer sent up, but you gotta at least try to get off a shot. Stewart off the up fake, turn around, puts it up and through. It's good for 2. 81-50, and we're under 40 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Just a dominant game by New York, and Caitlin Clark just stuck at 3 points, made a 3-point shot in the early stage of the second quarter, but nothing in the third, nothing in the first. Lob to the free throw circle, spin move by Smith. Smith got the bounce, good for the bucket. A 24-7 run to end the third quarter for New York. Ionescu slows down the possession. Could be the final possession to close out the quarter. Ionescu drives, kick out to the corner. Inside the paint with a hook. No good. Around the rim and out to rebound control by the Fever by Smith. Couldn't get a shot off in time. And just a lopsided affair tonight in this game. 81-52 at the end of the third quarter as we enter now the fourth quarter coming up in a lopsided game between these two teams. My apologies right now with the laptop noise in the background. My laptop has had some fan difficulties from time to time, and it's back once again. Knock on the wood. It was fine during the Western Conference Finals and the Eastern Conference Finals, but after it being well for 2 weeks, it's back once again. So yeah, I thought I got it because I went into some special setting to make sure that it would like stop the noise, but it came back once again. So I'm gonna have to see if I can take a part of the laptop again, clean off the dust inside the fan. If that doesn't work, if it keeps on making noise, I'm eventually gonna have to buy something for like a second laptop either way, because I take one to go to my games in person, and what happened is that this laptop that's making noise, it got rained on pretty hard because they didn't have a canopy out one time when I was announcing. So my laptop that's making the noise got rained on pretty hard back in April when I was covering a softball game. If there could be a setup with a canopy and stuff like that, it would have never happened or so. But it's a lot of difficult stuff, especially when I work in places that don't have press boxes and it's like bad weather. Then that's when things can get like to be a real issue or so. They play 40 games in the regular season for WNBA. So that's up from 36. I think they had 36 back in 2022, and they upped the schedule to 40. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm just outside of Providence, so I'm not too far away. So yeah, yesterday I looked at a house over at Ocean Grove yesterday, and it was they got some pretty good values over there in that area. So yeah, not too far away. Yeah, we're me and my girlfriend are actually thinking about like very close by to the Providence area, because I was looking up East Providence stuff today, and that was actually pretty affordable. There's stuff in Attleboro too, because I'm like right down the road from Attleboro. Yeah, her issue is that she's applying all over the place. She just got her master's degree, and nobody will take her. So that's the issue there. She's trying to get into to be a college professor, but the issue there is that they require like all these years of prior experience, where she just got a master's. So she's having a lot of issues where she couldn't find a job during the summer. So what happened is that she's from like the Cambridge area in Mass. She had to take a job out in Cambridge, which is like an hour north of where I am, since I'm closer by to like Providence. And the price, she's had jobs like throughout Boston and stuff, and the issue there is that they don't reimburse her for parking. The taxes are super high. It's just ridiculous. They don't reimburse her for transportation for the train to go to work, and then the parking expenses are ridiculous. So she's making, plus some of these jobs in the Boston area are like the one that she's working for a summer camp. So she got her degree in film for screenwriting and script writing. She took a job over the summer. Luckily, it's just the summer, so it's not like a contract or something like that. It's only for the summer, so it's like a 6-week job. She took a job out in Cambridge, but it's a shame because they're only paying her $20 a week for something that she got her master's degree in, which is film. It's for a film and media instructor, and at the school that she's teaching at, it's only a $20 an hour for a job over in Cambridge, plus the parking expenses and all of that stuff, which she worked at a couple other places and they never ever reimbursed her for it. 84-54, down to the final 9 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah, that's so Uncle Big Man putting out. Yeah, those are the areas that I've checked there, so I'm trying to see if I can get into one of those areas, because I'm not too far away from Seekonk, actually, and you jump one town next to Seekonk and where I'm from, and the prices are crazy. They're only building big houses over where I am, but all the other places that I'm surrounded by, everything's much cheaper. So that's what we're looking at, because I got a lot of family over in Seekonk, and they build a lot smaller. Like Seekonk, Somerset, and Swansea builds a lot smaller than a couple towns over. Much affordable out there. 8 minutes left to play in this game, as Clark is currently in the bench at the moment. Deflected pass out of bounds. It was out of bounds off of New York. If you guys enjoyed the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams. And I'll be back for the NBA Finals, Mavs versus Celtics, for game number 1. That'll take place on Thursday. Baseline dribble for New York, out to the corner. Here's a 3 launched by the Liberty off the back rim, though, good by Leone Fibitz. They had a player wide open underneath the hoop. They elected not to take it, but a 3 is good straight away by Indiana to get themselves back winning 27, as this game has just not been close from the start. If you're just joining in, Caitlin Clark just 3 points. 1 for 10 shooting tonight in this matchup. Skip pass out to the corner. The 3 nails it. Vandersloot recorded the assist. Wide open at the left corner. It's been the game here for the New York Liberty tonight in this matchup. Just been so dominant right from the start. Yeah, women's basketball, big reason why, because Caitlin Clark, she has just been able to grow the WNBA this season. And good to see that the sport's finally growing. And the coverage has been able to expand a ton. Defensive 3-second technical foul committed by New York. Leads to a free throw being made by Indiana. 29-point game. Clark is right now on the bench, so she is currently on the bench at the moment. 6.5 left to go in the fourth quarter. Graceberger, dribble drive inside, floats up the shot, gutted around and in, drops down for 2. Sabrina Ionescu, 14 points for her today, 50% shooting, top scores. But Nia Laney Hamilton with 20. Double-double by Jonquel Jones, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Ionescu, runner off the mark, no good. Tipped up offensive rebound. Back to Ionescu, circles around inside the paint. Ionescu, and she scores up and in off the glass, plus the foul. Chance to go up by 30 once again, coming up here at the free throw line. Yeah, thanks so much, App. Really appreciate it. Yeah, both of us are just patient about it because even if we wait, still it's able to build like both of our growth potential together. So yeah, my girlfriend, she's in the process right now trying to find something for the fall and beyond with her master's degree because it was close by the summer and she was putting out applications and none of the places would take her, and she ended up having to take a job that could only pay $20 an hour, which she has a master's for because she wants to get into something with film, videography, script writing, screenwriting, and it's not even like the degrees anymore that matters. That's too bad because you go to college and get your education, and it's basically all about who you know and stuff. That's how you're able to get a job, especially in the communications industry, because I work in radio. I would say I would not recommend radio to a lot of people who's trying to pursue it, in my honest opinion, because it's very tough to get a job in radio. So luckily I work full-time in radio, but I'm lucky at least that I'm not like working at minimum wage. Like a lot of the stations around me, like even like the big companies like iHeart, Cumulus, Odyssey, those companies are paying their employees like $15, $16 an hour. It's too bad. Like for like a lot of like jobs, and those aren't like entry level positions either. Like the entry level positions, if it's by state for minimum wage, it would be like 12 or 13. Some of the states, I believe it's like $7.25 still for minimum wage, I believe. Yeah, it's crazy. And same thing with a lot of the sports broadcasting stuff, because all this stuff is seasonal, but you don't have any. For those who want to like make it into like sports broadcasting, it's the only way you can do it full time. You have to get signed by a national network, because the rest, if you want to be a sports broadcaster, it's a seasonal job. It's a game by game basis, and the thing that's tough about that is that you get no health insurance, no like medical coverage or anything, because it's all like a contract position and you're like freelancing with multiple schools. So Sabrina Ionescu at the free throw line shooting the and one, as she was able to get the layup, and the free throw is good. 30-point lead right now for New York, 90-60, just a dominant all-around performance. Tough game for Indiana coming off a back-to-back. And Caitlin Clark, this is probably going to be Caitlin Clark's lowest scoring total throughout the season. Potentially could be her career for her. Got a collision between a couple players inside the key. Actually, Caitlin Clark, yeah, she is on the bench right now. She is being attended to by the medical staff. Ooh. Yeah, something's clearly wrong tonight about Caitlin Clark, as she had to go underneath the tunnel. I don't know if it's something with her jaw, but she was attended to by the medical staff, like, It was in her face area. Something was going on. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's definitely really tough, especially because I'm only 28. Like like a lot of like my generation, like the people who graduated college within like the last uh like 10 years or less. It's very, very difficult right now. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the channel tonight. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams in the channel. And my next stream, I'll be back on Thursday. It'll be Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Celtics against Mavs on Thursday night. Unfortunately, this was a tough one tonight for the Indiana Fever. I'm actually gonna Indiana Fever actually led the poll 59-41. Gonna just get rid of that poll right now and have it posted. So the Fever took the poll, winning the votes, but the performance tonight is the New York Liberty by a landslide in this game. Yeah, this is just the Fever last year were the last place team in the WNBA, and just a rough game today by Caitlin Clark. Minus 77 scoring margin this season against the Liberty through three games as well at the moment. Yeah, it's just such a big adjustment. Like, everybody's trying to everybody's trying to bring their A-plus game against Caitlin Clark and limiting her as much as possible. Like, everybody wants to put the stop to the Caitlin Clark hype as New York picks up a reach and foul with Ionescu here. Yeah. Some I was looking at a couple places online today in East Providence. So yeah, that's pretty affordable for something that I'm looking at, because I see a couple of them recently. Yeah, thanks so much, App. Appreciate it, man. Off the screen, the three is good by New York. They've just been efficient right from the get-go in this game. Number 13 with Leonie Fibit. Four and a half left to go in the fourth. Out to the top here with Katie Lou Samuelson. Her three goes off the back from no good. Offensive rebound, putback opportunity results in a foul. Grace Berger going to shoot two coming up at the free throw line. Carmen on the channel, welcome in. Second shot's good by Berger for the Fever. She missed the first one. Yeah, also there's a lot of train stations, so if she does end up like commuting towards Boston or so. There's the train stations too, as well. But yeah, a lot of good colleges. Cause I sent her one recently that they were looking for a videographer at Brown, which Brown's in a really nice neighborhood. East Side is really nice in Providence. My neighbor across the street actually works on the east side of Providence. So the golden retriever that we take care of, his name is Nico. Unfortunately, he's not a part of these streams because my family takes care of the golden retriever when our neighbor works from like 3 to 6 p.m. So it's like usually like an hour or 2 hours before I start the stream that he has to go home. But every Sunday, the golden retriever across the street, he gets taken for a walk by his owner in the east side of Providence. There's a really nice section. It's called Blackstone Boulevard, and that's where the golden retriever goes for a walk. Marquisha Davis at the free throw line here, shooting 2 for New York. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good. She's going to have a third coming up. It was a foul on the three-point shot as we have a substitute here. Ivana Joykic checks in the game for the Liberty as Ionescu checks out. The third free throw is good, so all three are good at the line. This has been a dominant game right from the start for New York right now, and percentages has been the big difference between these two teams in the 3-game series this season. Double-digit wins in all three for New York, about to become the third victory in the series. Fever at the free throw circle. They lob it down low with an entry position. Up and off the glass. Goodbye. Nalissa Smith for 2. If they were able to get that going on earlier on in the game, they would have found success here to start to hang in much more. They went straight to a lot of tough percentage shots to begin this game today and just really wasn't able to get back into it. Tipped up as the rebound goes to the Fever here. Outside to a wide open transition. 3 came off the rim short. No good by Berger. 37% by the Fever. 59% right now shooting for New York in this game. Quarter 3 in the air. Splash. That's good. The Liberty just keep on stockpiling in the points. That's 5 players in double figures off the bench. Burke making the 3, got herself 10 points now. Hey, have a nice night. Thanks for joining in, Charlisa. We will take a timeout on the floor right now. 2:40 left to go in the fourth quarter here. Just a lopsided game tonight in this one. Third matchup this season between New York and Indiana, and it was not close from the start. If you enjoyed the content tonight, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll be back on Thursday for my next stream. Celtics against Mavs, Game 1 in the NBA Finals. Benijah Laney Hamilton, 20 points, top scorer today for the Liberty. Efficient as well, 7 for 9 from the floor, perfect 5 for 5 at the free throw line. Jonquel Jones, she had a double-double, 18 points, 13 rebounds. Sabrina Ionescu with a great game by her, 16 points, 5 for 10 from the floor, 6 assists for Ionescu. And 10 points by Kennedy Burke off the bench. Kelsey Mitchell, 21 points, leading the way for the Fever. A couple corner threes that was able to get the team winning 12 at one point. But this game right now is just a massive blowout. 34-point lead by the Liberty. 17 points by Nalissa Smith today. And Caitlin Clark, only 3. This could go down as a career low for Caitlin Clark, unfortunately. So I'd be shocked if she scores less than this. For her, like any point of her career just being locked up today, 3 points, unless she gets a game that she's injured like a couple minutes in that she has nothing, and that would be a career low. But right now it's just been a really tough night for her. Just 3 points, 1 for 10 shooting, 1 for 7 from 3 for her today. Yeah, no problem. That's So welcome back, and Jeffrey in the stream. Yeah, great weekends to go out and explore the ocean out there. So if you live by like the ocean water, Jeffrey, must have been an awesome weekend. Yeah, so yesterday, me and my girlfriend, we toured a house. It was like a 3-minute walk to a beach where we toured a house. It was in Ocean Grove in Mass, and then we drove over to Westport, right next to Horseneck Beach, and they have walking trails, and it took you right on the beach, which was pretty cool yesterday. Dexter, welcome in. Yeah, rough game today by Caitlin Clark. Just one game out of 40 this season. It's taken a long time to adjust. It's it must be so much for her because she couldn't even have a college graduation. She played in the national championship game for college basketball, and then it was like basically a month rest, and then the draft. The draft happened, I believe it was before our final exams, the draft happened, and then you got preseason games directly after that, and then right into the regular season games, so there's no break time. Today, coming off a back-to-back, so this is a very just tough game, and obviously for a rookie, doesn't matter who you are, just very tough to get adjusted to your first season. Big step up between college basketball and professional basketball, and we've seen it so far, the struggles of Caitlin Clark. A lot of people were saying that because she was considering a couple months ago on a Big 3 contract, that she was considering possibly doing the Big 3 for her, and now a lot of people are like, well, thank goodness she didn't take the Big 3 contract, but I think for her, what would have helped is that she needed like an adjustment period for downtime. Like it's very tough to go straight into basketball games when you haven't even graduated college. She had like final exam week going on, and she was drafted. Like it's been nonstop for her. She probably didn't get any sleep last night either, because they're coming off a back-to-back. New York last played on Friday. I believe they were at home on Friday. Indiana played at home yesterday, and then they had to travel out to New York. So it's a huge adjustment, especially on the schedule for Indiana there, coming off your first ever back-to-back if you're a rookie. Bio review, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Entry pass down low, is able to get a bucket for Indiana, 99-68 now as we enter the final minute, 15 left to go in the fourth quarter. Away from the basketball, Indiana picks up a foul. Well, that's going to be their fifth, so this will send New York here to the free throw line. Yeah, like even Wemby had his growing pains for him. I remember I streamed the first summer league game that Wemby played in, and everybody was posting in the chat, big bust. Wemby's a bust. He won't be able to do anything in the NBA. This guy's just a tall 7'5" monster that can't do anything. And he came number 2 in the Defensive Player of the Year voting for Wemby this year. He had some struggles early because there was a debate in the first month between Wemby or Chet, but Chet Chet, he hadn't played actual NBA games, even though he was a sophomore, but he sat and watched and got advice from his teammates how the first season went in the NBA, whereas Wemby, you're a rookie, you're thrown right into the fire, #1 draft pick, you're expected to be great, and he got better and better every single game for Wemby. So it takes time, because Wemby's first summer league game, it was really off, and then the articles that came out was about just Wemby being able to learn about like the process and stuff like that. It was just a learning moment, and then after that, his summer league games kept on getting better, and I believe he only played in a couple summer league games for him because he was so good during the last one. They just took over that it was enough. And the Spurs were just like, no, you're not playing in the next one. You're good to go. We'll see you back in the preseason for you. And then he got better and better every single game this season. For Caitlin Clark, it's going to take time, but they have a break during the Olympics, when the Olympics are going on in July. That's a good opportunity for her to get some rest and come back to what she was, for the usual Caitlin Clark that we saw back in college. Obviously, it's going to be less point production for her because it's a big step up playing in the WNBA, but tough one for her tonight in this game. Finished with just 3 points and 1 for 10 shooting, 1 for 7 from 3-point range. And this game was dominated by the #2 team in the WNBA, the New York Liberty. An easy victory tonight, 104-68 over Indiana. New York improves to a record of 7-2 overall. Indiana drops to 2-9 overall this season, as New York was coming off a back-to-back they played yesterday. Tough game on their schedule, now playing on the road at Brooklyn, where this was a humongous win today for the Liberty. Liberty put in a total of 5 players in double figures in this game, cracking 100. A 40-minute WNBA game, allowing Indiana to just 68. Thanks so much, all, for joining in, being a part of the stream. I'll be back on Thursday night, Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Celtics and Mavs. Should be a fun one. I have to train somebody at work this week, so I got 12-hour shifts, and I'm working 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., so I don't know how long I'll be training the person, but if the person doesn't have their show, if they're not trained in time on Thursday, I might be a tad late for Game 1, the conference finals, but hopefully if they're able to retain the information, I wouldn't have to stay on Thursday. It all depends on when they're able to get down the stuff for and how they're able to retain it, but if I'm still doing training by Wednesday by Thursday with a person, I might be home around like 8:30, 8:35ish, so I might have to start the stream a couple minutes late or so, just a heads up, but I still plan on covering the Celtics versus the Mavs Game 1 on Thursday. Thanks all for joining in here, everybody, being a part of the stream for this one. Unfortunately, the score is lopsided. Would have loved to see a much more closer competitive game, but hopefully we'll get to see that throughout the course of these NBA Finals games coming up this week. Thanks all for joining in. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night. Gonna wrap up here. We'll sign off to the channel members. All channel members get a shout out at the end of each and every single one of my live streams. We got Jason, Warren, Rajeep, I Am Ghost, David, Asia, Paul, Russell, John, Mark, Kelly, Jeffrey, Vegas, Barco, Oink Oink, Michael, Katie, Bradley, Daniel, Derek, Sister Surround, Mario, Greedo, Tristan, Chuck, SG Sports Talk, Ice Baby, Robin, Melinda, Jack City, Shalimar, Iceberg Slim 38, Matthew M. Stone, Miles Davis, and we are living in the Great Depression. Thanks all for joining in, being a part of the stream for this one today here at the New York Liberty. Win against the Indiana Fever, 104-68, the final score. I'll be back on for Game 1, the NBA Finals on Thursday. And my email is, I'll put it in there in the chat for you. It's also in the About section of my channel there, James, but I'll put it in the chat for you. Oop. Actually, no, it's on Gmail. Whoopsie. I'll put it in there for you, James. Yep. Oink Oink Classic channel members. There we go. All right, so I just put that in there for you, James, in the chat. It's also in the About Us section, I think, of my channel, where it has, I think it has like an email thing, and you have to click on it if you're signed in, and it should come up as well. So if you have like issues referencing back to the chat, it also should be somewhere on my page in like an About Us section. But we're gonna wrap up here for this one as the Liberty crushed the Fever 104-68, the final score. Thanks so much, all, for joining in, and I'll be back for the NBA Finals this week. See you guys soon. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday night.